Afternoon. Today I am going to talk about principles of fracture treatment. You should have this very basic information. You are going to know when you are the doctor, then the patient will come to you with case of fracture, and you have to give some. You must understand all these things and give first aid to them. What is the definition of fracture? This is it is a disruption of bone discontinuity. Although it's a disruption of bone continuity. Although the most of the fractures occurs as a result of trauma, single episode of forceful, powerful enough to fracture the normal bone. But there are other type of fractures also, like pathological fractures and stress fracture. In these two conditions, there is a pre-existing diseases in the body, and that lead to a fracture. That's why it's known as pathological fracture. While in stress fractures, when sportsmen do continuous repeated activity, then the bone gets stressed and there is some fracture of the bone. So the pathological fracture is one in which bone is broken through an area weakened or by pre-existing disease. As I have already mentioned previously, that there is a pre-existing disease. Either there is osteoporosis, or there is some deformity, gross deformity leading to stress over that bone, or because of some tumors like or some conditions like osteogenesis imperfecta, or from tumor by which the bone gets weakened and then it gets fractured, and by the degree of force that would have left the normal bone intact. So in tribal trauma, it gets fractured, while in that energy trauma cannot fracture the normal bone. Example is osteoporosis and bone tumor, which I have already mentioned to you. Sometimes in the children, because of osteomyelitis, bone gets osteoporosis and weakened, and that may get a pathological fracture. Stress bone. The bone, like other material, reacts to repeated loading. In games, in athletes, is commonly seen. Or the candidates who are appearing for police entrance examination or BSF, they have to run for kilometer per day to get a fitness. So these young patients, they will come with a complaint of pain at the shin, and in due course of time, because of repeated loading, they will develop a crack. So also seen in the military installation and in ballet dancer also. So what are the clinical features of the fracture? You must know the clinical features before advising for some investigations. So the history taking is very important. Any history of trauma. Now the further lecture will be more focused on the traumatic fracture. So there is a history of trauma. You must ask the patient about the history of trauma, how it happens, what is the velocity, it was a road traffic accident, or was a fall from height, or that's very important. And then see for symptoms and signs. There could be pain and tenderness, of course, because of a fracture, and deformity. Limb will get deformed. Then there is a loss of function. Because of pain, patient will not be able to do weight bearing cannot walk, even he cannot move. Because of pain, there is a loss of function. Because of fracture, if this is grossly displaced, there could be a neurovascular injuries, because the nerves and arteries and veins travels in the compartment, in the leg and also in the thigh. So if the bony fragment can injure this, can lead to neurovascular deficit. Then again you must see the swelling. Because of trauma, there is a loss of evasion of the blood in the surrounding tissue, so there will be swelling. And you will also find the crepitation because of the abnormal movement. If you move the limb, you will feel the crepitation and the abnormal movement as well. So what is this? Can somebody tell me about this? This is a picture, clinical picture of left hand. This is the wrist, this is the hand, this is the thumb, and this is the lower forearm. So it is not appears normal. This is something wrong. This deformity is there. You see, this is dorsal side and this is volar side. So there is a history of trauma fall on the outer stretched hand. So what you will suspect? You will suspect for the traumatic fracture of the lower end of the radius. After this, you have to ask for some radiological examination, in which the plain X-ray is very important, and it should be a joint above and joint below. This is the basic principle. Any bone fracture, you must assess the joint above and joint below, and at least there should be two views. Two views commonly asked for is anteroposterior view or lateral view. But sometimes you may ask for the right oblique and left oblique. Then you have to, and special views you have to request. So this is a basic investigation. Then another is a CT scan, but this is not recommended in all cases. These are recommended in the fracture which are around the joint, articular joint involvement, because there are multiple fragments and we have to reduce the individual piece of bone for restoring the joint. And then sometimes you may ask, rarely, the MRI. But this may be important to know the soft tissue injury, especially if there is an injury to the ligament in the knee. There are a lot of sports activities going on, and youngsters are engaged in this activity, and there is an injury to the knee. There could be rupture of the anterior cruciate ligament, posterior cruciate ligament, medial malleolus, or sometimes the lateral collateral. And then the CT scan is also important in the spine when there is a junctional area. If there is a fracture of the spine at cervicodorsal region, that area is very difficult to get by X-ray views. Likewise, in lumbosacral view also, especially in the fracture of the spine, how much fragment is in the canal, you want to know that whether it is compressing the canal or not. In these cases, the CT scan is very important. How to class? Then once you get the X-rays, you want to know how to. In next class about the fracture.